Hi, how are you? Matt Watson here from Carwow, and I'm here with the new Volkswagen Golf GTI. And in this video, I'm going to talk you through all the changes over the normal Golf in terms of the exterior design, the interior, and of course, the mechanical and performance upgrades. I'm going to take it for a drive, see if it's any fun, and I'm going to launch it to see how quick it really is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Now, before we get into all of that, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you will not miss a single upload.
Buying a new car? Then head to Carwow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. Carwow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Before we get into the review, let's talk about money. You see, this new Golf GTI starts from just under £33,500, but even though it's brand new, you can still save almost £2,000 off one through Carwow, and you can see how much you can save on this car or any car for that matter by clicking on the pop-out banner up there to go to Carwow. Alternatively, after you watch this video, you can just Google "Help Me Carwow" to go to Carwow, and me and my team will help you choose the right car for you and get it for a fair price. So what do you get for your extra cash over a normal Golf with this GTI? Well, in terms of the exterior design, it does stand out because you get a more aggressive front bumper with its honeycomb effect here. You've also got the classic GTI red striping, and it runs all the way across the front of the car and into the lights. Speaking of which, these lights, they're matrix LEDs, so they'll blank out part of their beam so they don't dazzle oncoming drivers. Another cool feature about this is that you actually have an LED strip there which also lights up. Thing is though, this car's face, it's almost like it's got a monobrow. It sort of reminds me of Bert from Sesame Street. Here at the side, the GTI has 18-inch alloy wheels as standard, though you can upgrade to some 19s. You also get red brake calipers, some red GTI badging, and these side skirts, they're just made out of cheap, rough black plastic, though it does actually contrast quite nicely with the white paintwork. Makes it look a bit meaner, as does the fact that it sits lower to the ground than a standard Golf. Here at the back, you get a roof spoiler. The back window is also tinted out by 65%, and that once again works well with this white paint. You get LED tail lights, GTI badging, more aggressive, deeper rear bumper. I was just looking underneath the bumper to see if it had a diffuser, and there seems to be this weird hole there. I'm not sure if it's meant to be there or if some bit of paneling has just dropped off. You can't see it from this angle anyway. What you can see though are the twin chrome exhaust pipes, which I really like the look of, and they're real. Thank God for that. In fact, I think this angle is the best angle of the new GTI. It's really nice looking. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Here on the inside, the GTI has some key changes over the normal Golf. The most obvious are the sport seats. So they've got integrated headrests, big side bolsters, and the classic GTI tartan pattern. You've also got a sport steering wheel. It's nice to hold. You've got some red accents on it and the GTI badging there. If you look really carefully, you'll see that there's a honeycomb pattern here on the interior trim and on the door. You've also got some aluminium pedals. The starter button glows red, trying to encourage you to start the engine. Then you've got some red accents there, LED lighting just on the dash. And whenever you see the car on the infotainment screen, it is of course a GTI in the colour that you picked it. Also, you get digital dials as standard in this car, and you get GTI dials. Look, they're red. It's lovely. There's quite a lot of red going on actually in this car. Stitching here as well. And obviously if you have a manual gear selector, you'll get some red stitching on the gear gaiter. Does it feel sufficiently sporty enough? I think just about, really. Not too over the top, very GTI. As for the rest of the interior, it's Golf business as usual, so fairly nice quality, easily laid out, but some annoying touch sensitive buttons rather than normal buttons, and the ones looks like I was in stop-start mode, and then when I put the climate on, it started the engine and went crazy. Back to the buttons on the steering wheel, which I absolutely hate. In fact, they are awful in this car. Excuse my French, but they are. Like, they're touch sensitive, so you swipe them, but you can also press them, and so you're never sure exactly what you're supposed to do. I hate them. I just do, I'm sorry. Here in the back seats, you also get the GTI specific trim, which is nice. Another thing I've noticed is that as well as the normal seat back pocket, you've also got two other ones here for your mobile phone. So you can have a mobile phone in there and a mobile phone in there. So you can watch one with each eye. Other than that, it's exactly the same as a normal Golf. So it's fairly comfy and roomy back here. But if you want more details on the practicality and things like door bins and how easy it is to fit a child seat, and even what the infotainment systems like to use and what you can fit in the car's boot, then click on the pop-out banner up there to watch my full in-depth video review of the normal Golf. It's all the same, really. Because the Golf GTI is front wheel drive and not all wheel drive like the Golf R, you don't have a rear differential at the back, so the boot capacity is exactly the same as a normal Golf at 381 litres. Though if you really want a huge boot on your hot hatch, you're going to need a Skoda Octavia VRS, and if you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can check out my review of that car. And that brings you on to 5 annoying things about the Golf GTI. On most cars, the colour of the dials change depending on which driving mode you're in. But in this car, they're always on red. Even the background is red, so you think you're constantly in sports mode, even though you're not. The only way you can know which mode you're in is this little graphic down here, which just cycles through between like a picture. Why don't you change the colour of this background? I know it's a GTI and it has to be red, but not everything has to be red. Come on. This car may have a sports exhaust, but due to European noise regulations, it sounds a bit nah. You see what I mean? No, I'll rev it. The soft limiter doesn't help. It's enough of that, it's boring. It'd be much better to have the driving mode button on the steering wheel rather than there, because you have to look down to press it, and you really do have to look down because it's not a physical button and it's touch sensitive. You've got to make sure that you're actually pressing the right thing. I want to show you this as well, look. If I put some pressure on there, the whole panel just clicks and moves backwards. So much for Volkswagen build quality. These integrated headrests really block your view if you're in the back seats. God, it's dead annoying. In most sporty cars, you can turn off the stability control just by pressing a button. Nice and quick, handy if you're out on track and you suddenly want to have some fun on a corner. In this car, it's so convoluted. You have to go to Vehicle, select Vehicle from that menu, swipe across, select Brakes, go to the ESC system, scroll down to Off, confirm that you do want it off, and finally you're there, and yeah, the lap's almost over.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5.
You get upgraded sports brakes over the normal Golf. Also, the suspension is tuned as well, ever so slightly differently. So it's 5% stiffer at the front and 15% stiffer at the back for improved handling. The GTI gets an electronically controlled limited slip differential as standard, and that can send up to 100% of the engine's power to either front wheel on demand, depending on which one has the most grip, to help drag you out of a corner. The new body panels and an almost flat underfloor means that this new Golf GTI is actually 0.3 of a CD more aerodynamic than the old car. That will mean something to you if you're an engineer. If you're not, yeah. The car features a new aluminium front subframe over the old Golf GTI. This makes the front end stiffer and the steering more responsive. Also, it saves a bit of weight, 3 kilos, though this car still isn't particularly light. It comes in at 1,463 kilograms in total. The GTI has a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine with 245 horsepower and 370 Nm of torque. Drives the front wheels via a 6-speed manual gearbox or a 7-speed automatic with launch control.
Volkswagen says this car can do 0 to 60 in just 6.3 seconds, but I'm going to see for myself. It is a bit damp out there, but I've got launch control, automatic gearbox. Let's do it. All ready to launch. God, that was a dreadful start. It's like your grandmother getting off the line. Well, there we go. Still did 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. I'm going to give it another go. Second time lucky. Come on, grip this time. Still really steady off the line. Struggling for traction. Slightly better. 6.48 seconds. If this was dry, I'd be getting below 6.3 for sure, because that just grandma's off the line. In fact, it's looking a little bit drier here. Right, here we go. Oh, squirrely steering wheel. I guess that's the problem with front wheel drive. If it's a bit damp, you're always going to struggle a bit to put your power down. In fact, if you click on the pop-out banner up there on the top right hand corner of the screen, you can see a hot hatch that does struggle to put its power down. It's got an awesome all-wheel drive system. In fact, it's my favourite car of this year. Check out the video. Hot hatches aren't just about the launch, are they? They're about how they make you feel on a twisty road. So let's go into manual mode for the gearbox on this GTI and hoon it about a bit. It seems a bit sharper than the last GTI, and it really does grip onto the road. This is more fun than any other GTI I've driven. It really is. It's not playful on the throttle like a Hyundai i30N, but it's really composed and really quick. What it does lack though is that edge of precision and the feel from the steering wheel, the brake pedal and the manual gearbox that you get from the Honda Civic Type R. The question is though, should you go for a manual gearbox? And I say no. The automatic suits this car's personality better because while it is a fun car, it's not the ultimate driver's hot hatch. There's plenty of others to choose from for that. And the manual gearbox on this Golf is just so-so anyway. Now let's find out what this car's like when you're not tuning it and you're driving sensibly in town. I'm going to put it into comfort settings, so it's lined at the steering, reduce the responsiveness of the throttle, and because this has the adaptive dampers, it's softened the suspension. And now you really do notice a difference. It just feels like a normal car. It's very, very good over bumps. You wouldn't know it was the sporty model. I'm impressed by that. Sometimes with other cars, you don't feel much of a difference between sport and comfort. With this, you do. Now, one thing I like about the Golf GTI is that not only is the steering responsive, it only takes 2 turns to go from lock to lock. So if you want to go around a mini roundabout such as that, you don't have to do too much wheel twirling. It just makes it easy to live with. If it wasn't for all the red everywhere, I'd have no idea it was the sports model. I really wouldn't. I'm not sure that's a good thing, no. One of the greatest things about the Golf GTI compared to other hot hatches is that it's absolutely brilliant for commuting. It just behaves pretty much like a normal car. Now it comes with travel assist as standard, so you've got clever cruise control which uses a radar to keep you a safe distance from the car in front, and it auto steers to keep you in lane, so it just takes a sting long distance drives. You should actually hold the wheel, and if you don't, it'll switch off. But there you go, you'd have to keep on making those little corrections yourself. The seats, they're super comfy as well, really good for long journeys, and you don't get much tyre noise or wind noise from this car. It's really very good for a sporty vehicle. There is one thing though, when you're pressing the accelerator, you can hear the fake engine noise just droning a little bit like, and it's completely unnecessary. I wish I could just turn that off. Can't complain about the economy though. This thing's averaging 42 miles per gallon, which is epic. If you need to overtake people, you got the performance. Look, 50 miles an hour, floor it. Here we go. Kicks down pretty quick, this gearbox, and there, 70 straight away. You kind of forget that it's got that power when you're just tootling along, but it's there when you need it. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Volkswagen Golf GTI? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the GTI. It's not the most fun hot hatch, but it is a really good all-rounder. The only problem is there'll be an even better all-round hot hatch from Volkswagen very soon. Its bigger brother, the Golf R, and I'd probably just have that instead. Do you know what? If you can't wait for a Golf R, I've actually configured an alternative to a Golf R, which you can get now with a great offer from Carwow. If you click on the pop-out banner up there, you can see what that car is and see what saving I've got on it. Go check it out. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you'd like to see my in-depth video review of the Hyundai i30N, click on that window there, or the Ford Focus ST, click on that window there. If you click on that box, you can go to Carwow to see how much you can save on a new car. Alternatively, just Google "Help Me Carwow" and me and my team will help you choose the right car for you and get it for a fair price from one of our trusted dealers. Thanks for watching.